Whoa, whoa, whoa. Concrete Genius Podcast. It's your host, Sauce McKenzie, SAUCE_McKenzie, MACKENZIE. Follow me on all socials at Concrete Genius Pod or at Sauce McKenzie. It's really popping everywhere. It just kind of depends on what's your app of choice. I'm on YouTube, Concrete Genius Pod. That's popping. Everywhere it's popping. IG, TikTok, whatever your flavor is, I'm there, baby. It's a sauce for it. Pardon me for this inappropriate amount of handsomeness coming through your screen, but as you know by now, unless you a first-time watcher, and if you are, thank you, you should know that I come on here, come correct. So let's jump right into it, man. It's a lovely Tuesday. It's beautiful outside, but I got to get this money. My first topic is Snoop Dogg and the controversy about him taking his grandchild to one of the new, I don't know if it's Frozen or something, but the Keke Palmer movie, the children's movie. He took his grandson to the movie, and in the movie, I guess it went to like a futuristic episode, and it ended up the lady had a baby, and it was like two women raising the baby. They was kissing in the movie. Snoop Dogg said his grandson asked him, Papa, how can she have a baby with another woman? And he was like, I don't want to deal with this with my grandson. And he took immediate backlash. People called him a cheater, he this, he that. And it's just totally out of control. And it's like the LGBTQ movement has turned into a mob. Like, you can't even have rational conversations with people. Nobody is homophobic, but people should have the right to choose what they want to see. It's amazing to me how people treat people who they disagree with. That's how you see the real character of a person, because everybody loves you when you're agreeing with them. Everybody, if I talk about white people, black people love me. If I talk about black people, white people love me. If I speak up for straight people love me. If I speak up for gay people, straight people get mad. But the problem is, it's got to be a balance between you and the other person that you disagree with. So in this case, my plea to the LGBTQ community, especially the black community, we need to find out what conversations have to be had for us to totally heal and not get so viciously upset when everybody is not comfortable with images portrayed in front of their children. Now, if this one was an adult movie and he complained, I would still understand, but I would think his complaints would be, kind of pushing it. But he's taking his child to a children's movie. It's no way you should see a children's movie and have to see two men or two women kiss. Do we not have the right to say that as human beings? Do we not have choices? And I need people to stop comparing the alphabet movement to the civil rights movement. Every time somebody goes through something in history, y'all compare it to black heroes and the black civil rights movement and what we endure as a people. It's not the same. It's not the same. Like, stop piggybacking off every movement we've ever had. And I don't have any ill will towards anyone. I'm a supporter of anyone that's kind, treats people well. But y'all gotta act like gay people pick cotton or something, or got lynched and shit like that. Like, it just didn't happen. So let's nip that in the bud. Second thing I want to say is, why can't somebody not want to see something? And I see a lot of arguments on the internet. I see people saying, well, I was gay and I was a kid and I had to see straight people. I mean, straight people were the way of life for centuries. That's how you actually reproduce people. Like, you're raised man, woman, child. So don't blame people who are uncomfortable with. And I don't want to hear arguments about how insects is gay and every species is gay. I'm not a watermelon, bro. You know what I mean? I'm not a bee. I'm not a fly. I'm not an ant. I'm a human being. And again, I would never discriminate against anyone due to their orientation. I've never mistreated anyone in my life due to their sexual orientation. But I also don't want to be judged when I'm uncomfortable with what I see from a sexual perspective. I should have that right as an American. The same right somebody that's gay has the right to say, hey, I walked in this restaurant, it's a public restaurant, they disrespected me because I'm gay. I support you 100%. But as a heterosexual person, I should have the right to be able to say, you know what? I don't want my 4-year-old child seeing two men in a relationship, kissing, being affectionate. And a lot of people use this argument. Well, a lot of gay kids grew up watching straight folks and they turned out to be gay. Well, good for them. They were very committed to their gayness, and I'm happy for them, right? But you can't tell me that programming, what you see, giving people valuable options has not influenced this generation of kids. Because if it didn't, why wasn't it so many gay eighth graders as it was 20 years ago as it is today? Because of the influence, you put the pride programming in everything. You know what a rainbow used to mean when I was a kid? Lucky Charms and a pot of gold. Now the rainbow is symbolic with whatever movement is under those alphabets. You can't even post a rainbow unless it only has one connotation now. We have to find a way to agree. I understand you guys have been oppressed. A lot of rights were taken away from you. The right to marry, the right. Even if I disagree with that, I'm never going to infringe on your rights to have a decent life as a human adult. If you choose to marry a woman, I support that. That's your life. That's your business. If you a man, choose to support a man, I don't agree with it, but I don't not support you. I think that's your right as a human being. But when I don't want my child seeing two people, or my grandchild in Snoop's case, seeing two people of the same sex be in an affectionate relationship, that's his right also. So now, my question to you is this. How do we fix this? Because this is a podcast to heal, not to hurt. How do we fix this? I got a suggestion. ConcreteGeniusMedia.com. It's Sauce McKenzie. Follow me on all socials. Get a copy of my book, The Game Changer. I got two suggestions. The first one is kind of easier than the second one. My first suggestion is this. Whenever a children's movie is released in the United States, and for some reason, whatever film company produced the movie, if the movie has any non-traditional aspects, two men dating, two women dating, two men raising a kid, the trans kid, the gay kid, how about putting a sticker on the child's movie to alert straight parents to say, you know what, I may not want to see this movie. You don't have to hear me complain. Because if you put out a children's movie, you put out Snow White and Snow White a lesbian, and you put a parental warning, this movie contains non-traditional elements. This movie contains LGBTQIA plus divide minus sensitive material. And then that would give the parent or the grandparent or the guardian the choice to say, you know what, we're not going to see that version. Maybe they can edit those parts and give us a version that we're comfortable with. Because what happened with homosexuality, it went from treat us like human beings to acceptance to if you don't tolerate everything we say or do and you show any uncomfort with us, a man could come in there with a dress on and no t-shirt and try to go in the boys' restroom, girls' restroom. And if you say, bro, you can't do that. It's not bro, it's ma'am. We in a whole state of psychosis and stupidity and irrational behavior, especially for people that were born in the 1900s. So my suggestion is, just like how they did with rap albums, Uncle Luke, explicit material, NWA, explicit material, when you put out a program or a show that has homosexual, transgender content, queer content, put a label on the show to give the person the opportunity to not watch the show. Then if they watch the show and complain about it, they're being assholes. But you can't call a person an asshole for seeing something they were unprepared with that they're uncomfortable with. It just doesn't work like that, gay people. And I'm telling you, I am offering an olive branch to the community because I love gay people. I have no beef with you guys. I have no beef with a human's right to be their free self. Whether I agree with it or not, it's not important because everybody's buried by themselves. You're born by yourself and you're buried by yourself. So if you feel like you want to be a 6'8", 280-pound man and call yourself Crystal and say identify as a woman, I'm going to call you Crystal because I don't have time to disrespect you. You earned the respect regardless of how I feel about it. But I also don't want to take my nieces and nephews to see Peter Pan, or Peter Pan might be a bad example, but Snow White or any children's movie, and then you just get in there and two niggas just start kissing. And then Timmy got a 16-year-old boyfriend. So my suggestion, this is a great suggestion. This is going to get traction. So remember you heard it with Sauce McKenzie first. Parental advisory stickers on movies that contain any form of non-traditional sexuality. Give us all the option. And then that way, if it contains it, maybe they can do a study. That way, all the LGBTQ people can go support this movie and y'all can put y'all money behind it because it's a movie highlighting the lifestyle that you feel comfortable with. But I'm just being honest. People born in the 70s and 80s and some people born in the 90s, especially in most traditional households, Christian communities, we are not comfortable with homosexual images being forced on us. And the argument to say that you have heterosexual images forced on you is just ignorant because you guys are the minority. And I don't know if you guys, I know you guys haven't been used to kind of being the favorite minority for a while, but I'm going to give you a little tip about being a minority. It means that you're not the majority, right? So that would be like me going to Six Flags and say, why is it white people here? Makes sense? So when you say, why are heterosexual people not understanding, it's because we are the majority. So we may not understand. It's nothing offensive. It's just the honest to God truth. And I'm not comparing your sexuality with being black because you don't have to know somebody's gay. You know I'm black from down the street, right? So it's just two different types of issues. It's two different things. And I hate when people convolate or associate the same struggles because it's ignorance. And it's also disrespecting our black leaders. And I'm tired of gay people, Mexican people, African people, Asian people, any type of people using the civil rights movement as a comparison to whatever you're going through. Let's be original. You already take our music, you take our slang, you want to say the word nigga, you want to dress like us, you want to imitate our youngsters, you want to imitate our middle age, you want to imitate our elders. We create magic. That's fine. But every struggle ain't the civil rights movement. So if you want to appease heterosexual people, homosexual people, find a decent middle ground, let's put advisory warnings on the movies. Something simple. Hey, to all potential viewers, this movie contains non-traditional images. Well, you know what? Hey, we ain't gonna see this. We'll go see something else. Or you know what? Somebody might say, you know what? I want my child educated on this. Let me take them. See, because now you give us a choice. And you say, okay, you know what? It may have, let me talk to my child about what's going on. Let me educate them and let them know, hey, you have to be more tolerant in this world. People will be different from you. So if you really want to heal, you got to stop being so defensive. All right. Now, option 2 for peace is it's like how black folks had to start the Negro League. Y'all just start a whole film of movies and productions and television networks and stations strictly for people of that community. And I promise you, nobody will bother you. So make you a gay WB, a gay revolt. Well, that may be a bad option. Fuck around with Diddy. But make something similar, make a product, then make it better. Blacks had to play in the Negro League. Now, oh, these niggas can play a little bit. You know what I mean? So we had to create blaxploitation movies in the 70s. Oh, these niggas, these movies pretty good. Be proud in your homosexuality. You should be confident and you should want rights. But don't infringe upon the rights of others, forcing your life on people because everybody ain't comfortable with it. And I said this in the most kind way I could. And I don't agree with a lot of what Snoop Dogg says. But I've also been on this world long enough and I'm rational enough to understand that somebody that I may not favor can be right. And I have to be mature enough to understand that I agree with him. And it's not wrong to bring up his wife and what he did in his marriage because he had a thing that you disagree with. Because if Snoop Dogg would have got right in that camera and looked at that camera and said, man, it was a gay couple in there and it was amazing. I had to talk to my son about it and I educated him. Then y'all would be talking about how iconic he is. So we can't have it both ways, people. This is my message to you guys. I hope nobody's offended by this. I hope the rational thinking people can kind of understand where I'm coming from. But I do have a big voice, and so I like to use it to extend the olive branch and let people know we do not hate you. We're not offended by you. We're not threatened by you. We don't want you to live in inferior housing. None of that. I want you to have all the opportunities that every other American should have. But I also don't want the right to say, you know what, this ain't my cup of tea, without you calling me all type of homophobes and homophobics and bigots and digging up my third grade history. That's not fair either. So ConcreteGeniusMedia.com, the man of the people. Look at me as your Switzerland. I am here to unite people. I am not here for division. Get a copy of my book, The Game Changer, 8 Tips for Men to Find Peace. This is the realest shit you're going to hear, the realest shit you're going to see. It's only one me. We lit, we lit, we lit. Hey, man, I seen a dude get arrested for having a whole bunch of child molestation shit on his page. He's a teacher at a school in Indianapolis. Whole bunch of child molestation shit, whole bunch of other shit. They talking about all the files he had on his hard drive. And this nigga got a $15,000 bond. That's what's wrong with the justice system. 15 G's to get out for all that shit? And then the nigga catch his first dope case, he got a $50,000 bond. Nigga shoot somebody trying to steal from him or rob him, he got an $80,000, $100,000 bond. We got to break down the systematic racism in the court system. You did? There's no way that somebody get caught with a quarter kilo of dope got a higher bond than the nigga that got 8 terabytes of child porn. It just doesn't make sense on a moral scale. But you know why it makes sense? Is because that world of pedophilia runs deep, and they often have to protect each other. Now, you'll get the scapegoats, and we are abundantly stand against the abuse of children and this and that. But they still hire coaches to touch on kids. People don't report child molester, sexual assault violations. People continue to hire these guys. They get incredibly low bonds when they get charges. And then they're also accepted in their community most parts. I'm yet to see, now I've seen it in TV shows and a movie, but I haven't seen in real life where white people run a sex offender out of a white community. I ain't seen black people do it, I don't think. So now I've done it. You know what I'm saying? Like I was in an apartment and they was moving nigga in. I'm like, my next door neighbor across the hall, he was like, yo, man, I was locked up with dude. I think dude, a chomo, right? So I did my research, made some calls. Come here, child went straight to the apartment, and he was in there with the apartment lady. I said, he cannot move in here. He's a pedophile. If he move in here, we gonna have a serious problem. He ain't gonna make it. They did their research, and he didn't move in. So I've done it, but I've yet to see our community do it more. And a $15,000 bond for having child pornography is absolutely ridiculous. We must do better as a nation. We must protect children as a nation. We're going to continue to have a broken world if we continue to allow people to abuse children. Because now we're raising scarred adults who either going to abuse children or they're going to take out their trauma in ways they don't even understand. Drugs, prostitution, crime, low self-esteem. You giving all that to a child when you molest them and then you don't protect them. I can understand why sexual assault victims feel like they have nobody in this world. And all of us as a society who don't speak up, we're all guilty. All of us. ConcreteGeniusMedia.com, man. You know, there's so much real conversations going on, but I got to have them. You're going to find them here on ConcreteGeniusMedia.com. It's the realest of the realest. The best of the best. Get a copy of my book, The Game Changer. So the bigger issue in our community is choice, right? Who gets to decide what's acceptable, what's included, what's right, what's wrong? Okay, so that allows me to segue into my next topic. And I want to speak specifically to Black Greek organizations. And I like to preface this by saying that out of my 20 favorite people that I love the most in the world, probably 6 of them are in D9 organizations. And I seriously hurt you about them. Not to mention I got respect for other friends that have done things for me I'm cool with, right? So I want to say this as, again, from a point of compassion, but I also need to ask the question, have we reached a point in American history that Black Greek letter organizations are divisive in the Black community? And the reason I ask that is because not all, but a majority of members, when having an opportunity, will give several chances to a frat member before they'll give it to a guy that may be 10 times more suited for the job that's not in a fraternity. That's the work of Jim Crow. If we being honest, at some point, the gap between those who are college educated and pledge and the brotherhood has to be closed between those who aren't college educated or those who just didn't feel like fraternity life was for them. We always got this issue in the Black community where we need something to turn our nose up at the next nigga. That's just trauma from slavery and oppression. So if I work at the bank and you work at the bank, I need to get my car washed every day to show I'm better than you at the bank. I pledge and you didn't pledge, I feel like I'm better than you. And that's where the problem lies in the community. Because it's too many good Black people who aren't in organizations left off opportunities because they didn't pledge. And that's not fair. Are we Black or are we Greek? That's my number one question. Because if we're black, being black should take precedence over your Greek fraternity sorority alliances. If it doesn't, then you have an internal problem about your blackness or your love for the community or why you got in a fraternity or sorority in the first place. Because the people in D9 organizations that I have great relationship with, that I respect, are all about service to the community, especially the women. The women are way less about ego than the men. I mean, you see black women in sororities everywhere. Food drives, voter registrations, health clinics, medical clinics, teaching girls how to be women. So I'm not talking about that group that services the community, but I am talking about the group that feel like you a superior level of black or you are more white adjacent because you pledged. Now, I'm not getting into what you went through to pledge. This ain't that kind of pod. This kind of pod is to say that if I'm a basketball coach, right? I'm the best coach. I'm already black. That's hard enough. I'm in a state like Indiana. But now, any opportunity I might get, I can't get because the 3-4 black people in position to hire the best black person, they obligated to their fraternities. They obligated to being Kappas or Qs or Sigmas or, I ain't gonna put the IOTAs in this. Some niggas pretty much 100. But most of the Sigmas too. But a lot of fraternities will exclude the better person that's black. My grandma marched on Selma and Montgomery. That's black, but will include a frat brother. So what you did is you've created a ceiling for some black Americans that don't know how to work around it. And you've also created a false sense of superiority because you pledge, when I thought the process was us to get free as black people, not to burn some shit in your arm like you cattle and then think you better than the next nigga because you, whatever you do. I ain't knocking what you do, but what I'm saying is if it's somebody real black that does what you need done at a better rate than any of your frat brothers or frat sorority sisters that's available, hire that black person. Show us black people who don't know good fraternity or sorority members that you put us first and not just photo opportunities. Because a lot of you niggas like putting on your letters and going down there with the poor kids and handing out Family Dollar toys, Dollar General toys, and then you be like, oh, the bros showed up, or me and the candy cane, we are the Kappas, we showed up, we love the community. Man, y'all, that's a photo op, my nigga. That's a photo op. A large percentage of y'all that ain't in it for the community is for the access to be whores with a lot of women, to do drugs, and to live recklessly like white people live, and feel like you gonna always have an out clause because you in a fraternity. That's some bullshit. I'm gonna be honest. I've had black people interview for positions that can help me, and the white person was better, and I'm hiring that white person. I'm not finna be playing with my business or anybody else's opportunity. Now, if it's close, I'm gonna go with the black person. If I feel like I can catch the black person up due to lack of resources, such and such, I'm gonna go with the black person. But if I hire somebody to fix my crib, he's probably gonna be white or Mexican. I don't care how that looks. That's not because I'm not loyal to blacks. Some people just do other things better. But if a man walks in and he interviews for a position and he's black and it's close, he getting a job. But I'm not gonna hire an incompetent black person. See, I've seen situations across the country, but especially here in Indianapolis, where black growth has been stunted because of incompetent fraternity people in charge. But see, being in charge means too much to you niggas. Being morally relevant means too much to a lot of you niggas. And that's the great divide. A lot of men who didn't need the boost of Pledge and the Line Brothers, and not all of y'all, because I know some fly-ass niggas in fraternities. You know what I mean? So I'm dissing the people who mistreat their own people. I'm not dissing brothers who in it for the service and good brothers that help everybody. And down south, honestly, I'm even get a down south niggas a pass. Because down south, them niggas is black first, and then they fraternity, they sorority matter. Now, they big on it. They gonna rep they shit, but you gonna know you black, nigga. You can be somewhere down south. Go to Fort Valley State and see a black fraternity Hey, brother, come over here and get some of this food, man. We ain't worrying about none of that. You let you be in Indianapolis and you see a black fraternity and you hungry, they gon', sorry, this is only for organization members. So I'm not gonna even label all fraternities. I've had experiences with people who pledge and they from the South and they have a much higher commitment to being black. But you Midwest fraternity niggas, some of you East Coast niggas, you niggas' obligation is to the Greek life before your ancestors. And that's where we're gonna keep running into problems in the black community. That's why we're gonna always have a forced lower class who can't get out. I'll give you an example. I could have a kid that got a lot of potential, right? Maybe I knew his dad. Say his dad got life in prison. But I wanna take this kid to a basketball program where I know his potential can be reached. And I say, hey, man, I got this brother, this and that. Oh, man, where'd you go to? Because the first thing a nigga want to ask you is, where'd you go to college? Did you play? If you say no, they already scrutinize you. And then you say, brother, I got this kid, man, I'm trying to help him. But somebody in their fraternity got a son that ain't nowhere near as good, ain't got half the potential. They gonna leave the kid that really need it to the side. And that's the stepping system that's crushing the black community. That's why we got so many black children who feel unidentified, uninvolved. We gotta open up our doors. And if you guys really wanna be powerful, power comes with service, kindness, and humility. You know why I'm powerful? Because I walk in a room and most people know that got any sense of a threat of violence know at one time in my life I probably could break their neck with my hands. But you know what makes me powerful? I smile. I'm kind. I'm very courteous to people. I say thank you. I say you're welcome. I say please. I say excuse me. My words are soft-spoken to be such a large man. I'm a gentle giant. And people feel comfortable about that because I'm a person of service. It's easy for me to walk in a room and be flyer than all you niggas. Because look at me. I don't have to, though. Because I know I'm the flyest nigga in the room. So therefore, I can be as compassionate as I need to be. See, when it comes to helping black people, you got to look at it like this. You can't say you're a Christian and you pro-black, and then somebody that needs your help, in the same way that Jesus might need your help, you deny them the help because their parent ain't in a D9 organization. That's not fair. That's not pro-black. If you doing that, bro, you the new Jim Crow. Shit, you the new Bull Connor. You the new segregationist from Alabama. And that happens a lot in Indiana. A lot. So until we as a people find some type of unity and direction, I think we can all be great together. And I want to also say this. I know that it's been a lot of great leaders that have come from Greek organizations. At a time when we were going through turmoil in this country, they brought the respect level for everyday Black Americans up to a higher level. See, I know my history. So at no point would I ever disregard or diss or be malicious towards organizations that were started for the benefit of my people. I love that. But we're now in 2025. The focus has went to not saying we fighting the white man, is we getting Kamala elected, which we probably should have. Or it's going to saying, all right, my homeboy got two DUIs, but I'm gonna look out for him because his daddy in a frat. You're not helping. You don't give a fuck about the black community. You niggas is hoarders. Niggas is hoarders. And a lot of you niggas is scumbags. I seen you niggas have sex with another nigga woman when he died, get sick, your frat brother. Morally, it's either like up here or niggas just straight scumbags. And we gotta come to an understanding and create a bridge between all black people. And listen, if you're a high character, high moral person, you're a better person than somebody because you're a better person. I've never seen nobody become a better person because they joined a fraternity or sorority. You are already a good person, and now you're just spread your umbrella into different things. But I've seen a lot of people who ain't shit become confident in being more not shit after they pledge. Because now they think they fly, and they still ain't shit. And a lot of them niggas, I ain't gonna lie, bro, Indiana, a lot of you frat niggas beat y'all bitches. I don't respect no Ike Turner nigga. But I'm gonna give y'all 20 famous blacks that changed the course of history that were in fraternities that we probably can't live without. You know what I mean? All right, so let's go. Martin Luther King, you got to go with the big dog. Thurgood Marshall, W.E.B. Du Bois. All these are black powerful leaders that's been in fraternities. Jesse Jackson, Michael Jordan, Shaq, Langston Hughes, Bill Cosby, Carter G. Woodson, Kamala Harris, Coretta Scott King, Toni Morrison, Alicia Keys, Zora Neale Hurston, Dionne Warwick, Nikki Giovanni, Shirley Chisholm, Barbara Jordan, and Loretta Lynch. What I tell you about them black women? See, black women gonna be black before they in a sorority. They love their sorority, but they black first. Niggas, a lot of niggas join the fraternities for ego boosts, but I digress. Now here's 20 black famous figures that did not pledge. Malcolm X, Marcus Garvey, Harriet Tubman, Frederick Douglass, Ida B. Wells, Angela Davis, Maya Angelou, James Baldwin, Richard Pryor, Oprah Winfrey, Barack Obama, Michelle Obama, LeBron James, Serena Williams, Colin Kaepernick, Muhammad Ali, Bob Marley, Jay-Z, Beyonce, Tupac. Now, a lot of athletes, a couple of entertainers in each section, a lot of powerful leaders. And it can be done either way. It can be done the Malcolm way or the Martin way. But the thing is, they got to get along, baby. We got to get along. So I would never disrespect what Greek organizations have contributed to the black community. It would be disingenuous and disrespectful. And I got people in Greek organizations I love. But it's also some that I know that, almost shot in the face. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and they do a lot of grimy shit, and it hurts the black community. You niggas get these community centers. You frat niggas get these community centers. You get these grants. Y'all fuck over the grants. Y'all don't do but for certain kids. A lot of you niggas try to fuck all the mamas. You don't have no sexual discipline because you didn't get a lot of pussy as a teenager before you got to college, so you always playing catch up. And those type of infestations are damaging to us as a people and us as a community. And I hope that my conversation can be looked upon with respect and only offend those who should be offended. Like my granddaddy used to say, boy, only hit dogs gonna holler. And you know if you in your position, only because a nigga in a frat, you ain't really worthy of that position. See, we gotta get past the point of saying, I'm gonna be in a frat to give my brother a helping hand. Nah, man, we gotta just go back to the past. Like, hey, look, we all black, man. You know what I mean? Or if not, if y'all wanna be the bougiest niggas, stay the fuck out the trenches. But I know y'all can't do that. And then again, down south, the vibe is different. I just feel like in the South, the history is so strong with race relations and the civil rights movements and uprising. And see, they sold niggas in the North integration, so a lot of niggas that's closer to white people think they better than black people. People in the South never bought onto that shit. So in the South, you black, I'm white. So they black before they Greek. But like, you can't, man, ever been to Albany State? Them folks do not give a fuck if you ain't in no frat, bro. They is partying. Fort Valley, man, all that shit, Alabama A&M. Well, niggas is gangsters now, but back then, man, you can go to one of them country towns, you black, bro, they don't give a fuck. They gonna feed you, they gonna look out for you, and they don't care if you get a few women. Cause the love, you feel a black love before you feel this nigga didn't cross. Nah, cause they securing what they got. And I love those type of black people. But in the Midwest, and specifically in Indiana, y'all either gotta break it down, fix it, or just, decide if it's y'all versus real niggas. And that's not gonna be a good fight either. You know what I mean? But a lot of real niggas are getting tired of squeezed out. We already gotta deal with the racial structure. We shouldn't have to deal with house niggas too. We gotta deal with the house niggas that ain't even in a fraternity. We gotta stop putting obstacles in front of people that look like us and give everybody a chance on merit. And I know it's hard for you niggas with no talent. I know it's hard for you niggas that didn't lose your virginity until you shaved your hair and your eyebrows off. I know it's hard, but you gotta find a way. You gotta find a way because the divide is bigger than what you think. And I get my information from the trenches. You know what I mean? Obviously, I kind of came out of them, but I'm very connected to the trenches, man, and people know, they tell me things that's bothering the community. I observe things, parents hit me, and it's just been multiple times. And one last thing, Indianapolis, y'all give these frat niggas that fuck up 100 times more leeway than y'all do a regular nigga. So a frat nigga get sexual assault cases, do all type of shit. And he still got a job. Between the frat niggas, the Uncle Tom niggas, and the gay niggas, a straight black man in Indiana got to go through hell to get some money. I ain't gonna even play with you. And that's what's got to change, man. This talk has been brought to you by Sauce McKenzie, the greatest of the greatest, one of your new black scholars, the real black scholar, because my wisdom comes from the street. Street wisdom turned into divine conversations. That's what we do here at Concrete Genius Media, and look for big changes coming to us next month. I promise you, things are going to get bigger and better in more cities, more coasts. We just looking to dominate and just take over. And we here. Peace.